Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating piece of source material. On the surface, yeah, it looks like this super vivid children's story about a magical train ride. But right underneath that, it actually offers this incredibly profound lesson on what makes someone truly special. It's called Ethan and the Voyage of the Rainbow Train. We're going to walk through this narrative step by step, unpacking the gorgeous imagery and, honestly, the deep emotional core that drives the whole thing forward. So let's jump right into this world of color, friendship, and discovery. Okay, let's dive into this. What would happen if the world suddenly lost all its color? Like, imagine stepping outside your front door, and instead of a vibrant blue sky or bright green grass, the vibrancy of life just fades away into these dull, flat shades of gray. It's a pretty startling thought, right? Well, this exact high-stakes scenario is the incredible hook of the story we're exploring today. It totally sets the stage for a race against time to prevent the world's beauty from disappearing forever. Section 1, The Magical Train Arrives. So, our story kicks off in the wildly colorful town of Sunshine Station, and here we meet Ethan. He's this cheerful, deeply passionate kid, and his absolute favorite daily routine is just sitting by the tracks after school, watching the trains roll by. But on one particular evening, right as the sun is setting, that ordinary routine goes completely out the window. A glowing rainbow train just appears out of nowhere, and the visual details the source provides here are spectacular. I mean, this is not your average locomotive. Its wheels are literally sparkling like diamonds, and it's puffing colorful clouds straight out of its chimney. It pulls up right in front of Ethan, and out steps this friendly conductor, Captain Sparkles, who invites him aboard and says, "We need your help." Talk about the ultimate call to adventure, right? Section 2, The Missing Rainbow Crystal. Now, before Ethan can even fully process what's happening, the doors open, and whoosh, the rainbow train just rockets straight up into the sky. Suddenly, they're cruising way above the clouds, flying past these unbelievable floating islands and sparkling rainbows. But as magical as this all is, Captain Sparkles drops the bomb. He reveals the terrible crisis that caused this frantic journey. And it all centers around the Great Rainbow Crystal. See, Captain Sparkles explains that the rainbow train has a very specific, vital job. It uses this crystal as a magical power source to travel around and deliver happiness and colors to magical lands all over the world. It is literally the engine of the world's beauty. But here's the catch. The Great Rainbow Crystal has completely disappeared. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's at stake here. Without this crystal, all those blooming flowers, bright rainbows, and beautiful sunsets we completely take for granted, they'll just fade to gray. The text is very clear that all the colors in the world will slowly vanish. So the stakes absolutely couldn't be higher. Faced with the literal fading of all the world's beauty, Ethan just instantly knows he has to help. He flips from being a passive observer on the sidelines to an active hero on a mission. Section 3, Journey Through Colorful Lands. So now Ethan is hurtling into the unknown, right? He's tracking down clues to solve the mystery of this missing crystal. But, and this is absolutely crucial, he isn't doing it alone. The narrative weaves in this beautiful theme of collaboration. Along the way, Ethan meets this wonderfully eclectic group of allies: Coco the Rainbow Panda, Sunny the Singing Parrot, and Glowy the Baby Dragon. And these guys aren't just background fluff, they become his actual steadfast companions. Together, this brand new team sets out to track down the crystal. Let's move to and see how this builds, because they follow this incredibly vivid magical itinerary. First up, they have to cross the Candy Cloud Bridges. Then it's exploring the deep, mysterious crystal rainbow caves. After that, they ride straight through the Valley of Colors. Step by step, clue by clue, they just keep pushing forward until finally they make it to their ultimate destination, the magnificent Castle of Light. And it's here, right inside this glowing fortress, that they finally locate the missing rainbow crystal. Section 4, Meeting Prism the Chameleon. Now, usually in a story like this, you get to the Castle of Light, and you'd expect some epic, terrifying boss battle with a supervillain, right? But the narrative does something completely unexpected here. Instead of a malicious monster, they find a lonely little chameleon named Prism, and he's just sitting there, holding and protecting the crystal. This totally flips the script. It's not a confrontation at all. It turns into a masterclass in empathy. Prism isn't a bad guy. He's just this sad, isolated creature. He didn't steal the crystal out of malice or because he wanted to destroy the world's color. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer vulnerability of Prism's confession. Prism looks down, sad, and tells the group, "I borrowed the crystal because I wanted everyone to notice me." Just think about that for a second. That is such a deeply, universally human feeling, isn't it? That intense desire to be seen, to be valued, to just stand out in a world where you feel totally invisible. I mean, he's a chameleon. He's an animal literally designed to blend into the background and disappear. Prism just wanted to be noticed, and he genuinely thought the magical colors of the crystal were the only way anyone would ever look at him. And this is exactly where Ethan's true strength comes through. Instead of getting angry or yelling at him, Ethan just smiles kindly and says, "You don't need magic colors to be special." And that one empathetic response sets off this amazing chain reaction of kindness. Coco the Panda nods and goes, "We already noticed you." Sunny the Parrot chirps in, "And we'd love to be your friend." Finally, Glowy the Dragon flaps his wings and adds, "We can have adventures together." They completely, 100% validate Prism's worth, exactly as he is, without him needing any sort of magical enhancement. Section 5. Restoring the world's colors. Because he finally feels seen and accepted for who he is, Prism's eyes just fill with joy. There's no fight whatsoever. Together, as this newly expanded group of friends, they take the rainbow crystal and bring it right back to the rainbow train. And the second that crystal touches its special holder on the train, the source text gives us this massive, explosive visual, boom! This incredible burst of colorful light instantly shoots out and spreads across the entire sky. The crisis is solved, but it wasn't fueled by a battle. It was fueled by an act of understanding and friendship. The aftermath of this is just breathtaking. Rainbows instantly pop up everywhere. The flowers don't just go back to normal, they actually bloom brighter than they ever have before. The sunsets become even more stunning. The whole world is just sparkling with renewed color. And to cap the whole thing off, everyone comes together to celebrate this return of happiness with a massive rainbow festival. It is the perfect, harmonious resolution to that scary, fading world we imagined at the very start of this explainer. Section 6. The true meaning of special. Then, the narrative gently brings us back down to reality. The next morning, Ethan wakes up in his own bed. For a split second, he thinks, wow, maybe that entire insane journey was just a really wonderful dream. But then, he looks over at his nightstand, and sitting right there is a tiny, physical golden train ticket. Ethan smiles, because he knows the rainbow train adventure was entirely real. So, the crucial point is captured perfectly in this final moral from the text. You don't need special powers to stand out. Being kind, caring, and a good friend makes you truly special. It completely ties the narrative together. Prism thought he needed a magic crystal to be worthy of attention. But Ethan and his friends proved that intrinsic worth comes from how we treat each other. Empathy, connection, and kindness. That's the real magic that brings color to the world. Which leaves us with a pretty powerful thought to carry forward. How can you use kindness to make someone else feel truly seen today? Because, just like Ethan did for Prism, we all have the ability to notice the people around us who might be feeling a little invisible, a little faded. You don't need a magical glowing train, and you certainly don't need a rainbow crystal to change someone's world. Your attention and your empathy are more than enough. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep looking for the color in the world, and I'll catch you next time.
For more interesting videos, subscribe our YouTube channel